Welcome. We're back. Another day in the market. Hope everybody's doing well. What's up, Mr. Robinson, JG, KTF, Jack, Austin, Frank, and Nerve? Thanks again for the tip last night, Nerve. And yeah, we're back. Very interesting day for the market. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. Then we're going to talk about the overall stock market. Then we're going to talk about CLOV, FSR, AMC, GameStop, Wish, SOFI. We're going to talk about ongoing trades. And actually, after we talk about ongoing trades, I said last night I want to add a new segment to the stream. So I'm doing that. So I thought about what I could kind of add to the stream, and we were also looking at some day trade education last night. And I know that this at the stream is pretty much tailored towards swing trading, but you all know I day trade a lot. I just don't really talk too much about day trades on the stream. I kind of keep a lot of it, or almost all of it, in premium, apart from the day trading video in the course. But now every single night on stream, what I'm going to be doing is basically, after we talk about the swings, I'm going to be recapping day trades. Maybe it's just a day trade I took myself that I didn't share anywhere else. Maybe it's a day trade I shared in premium. And basically, win or lose, I'm going to try and share day trades every single night on stream, or, just kind of recap my thought process behind them. And, just hopefully over time, if you're watching the streams every single night, you're just going to be picking up things and noticing like what I'm looking for on day trades and whatnot. So that's going to be a new segment of the stream. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. We're going to get to it much later though. We still have a lot to talk about. So let's get started with Bitcoin. I think it bounced up a little bit, kind of went flat. I mean, it fell early in the day and then it bounced up towards the end of the day, currently at 62.7K. I don't see much of a technical change. However, any day above 59.5K to me looks good for Bitcoin. Hopefully it can just stay above that. Has a little bit of resistance at 63.6K from this low and this high and this high and kind of this high. So it actually hit that resistance and then it pulled back about 5% off that level, but then it bounced up 5% or 4%. So a little bit, up and down. I would just like to see Bitcoin break above that level before falling under 59.5K. So that's really it for Bitcoin. Let's talk about the overall market. So we're going to talk about the market, then we're going to talk about some feature tickers, then the ongoing trades, and then I'll do some day trade recaps, and if we have time, we'll do ticker requests. So yeah. Overall market right now, futures are slightly green. Nasdaq futures are kind of leading right now. They're up about 0.25%, and S&P and Russell futures are kind of flat but slightly green. So, what's in the chat right now? Yep, FSR had earnings today. One COD match at the end of every stream. Yeah, I don't see any mods in the chat tonight so far. But remember, everybody, I'm a mod in the chat too, so I could, what are the commands? I don't even use any of these commands. I think I've banned like 2 people from the chat in like the last year. Add moderator, hide user. I can put people in timeout. So yeah, I guess I'm moderating tonight. I don't know. But yeah, the market today, interesting morning. Nothing too crazy, kind of up and down for a little bit up until the FOMC meeting. And at 2 p.m. EST, we had that meeting and we saw a big rise for the overall markets. There we go, the guys in the chat. So we do have a mod in here. We saw a big rise intraday for the market. And what did I say? Okay, I'm not trying to do this every single time, but like down over here, I was bringing up the point that maybe, everything with tapering could have just been priced in earlier, because again, the market is always forward looking, okay? The price of the market overall on any given day is a forward-looking price. It's based on the estimates of market participants for the future. So I was making the argument that down in these areas, maybe we were getting some just like a, ahead of time, we might have just been getting a little bit of a shake, because people over here knew that tapering was coming November and December. So we were kind of pricing that in, and then we kind of priced that in, and boom, the market just went crazy. And then today, I even said the same thing last night, and just for the overall market, and I'm going to say the same thing again, we've kind of gotten through what I think was like the weird part, which was really September. And I think even last year, September, October was kind of strange. Let me see if I can find it. That's the code. All right, it's right here. So you could see September last year, the S&P 500 had a correction. It had 11% drop. We did not have a correction. We had a 6% dip for the market. So, we had that pullback, and then we broke it. Remember how bullish I was in these areas, and then we went crazy. It got a little bit bearish in these areas for a few days, or for like a week, like these candles over here. And then the bearish variables kind of gotten validated. And over the past few days, I've been saying I'm more neutral / still optimistic. I wouldn't say I'm just straight up bullish, because we are overbought now on the daily for the S&P 500, and we're up about 8% in 3 weeks. So we've already ran a lot. I don't like 8% in 3 weeks. That's pretty close to like the average for the S&P over a year. I'm pretty sure. Like not COVID crash or after, or not post COVID crash market, but just a normal stock market. 8 to 12%. I think. Don't quote me on that, but look it up yourself. So that's an insane rally to happen in 3 weeks. So like, at what point do you get some sort of a pullback? Are we just going to go up 10% in a month? Like, I don't even know how many times. Has that even happened? Maybe after the COVID crash we could see. But like, we're getting extended, but at the same time, it's not like there's like bearish variables or even bearish fundamentals that we know of right now. So it's just a fact of like, when will supply come? I don't know when supply is going to come. We're still just seeing euphoria in the market. There is definitely greed in the market, and a lot of stocks are not moving for fundamental or even technical reasons. They're just kind of moving with greed and money and just hype, right? So yeah, we did actually have a 13% month in April of 2020, but it's been a really good bull market. Technically we've still been in this bull market for even longer, but if we're just talking about after the COVID crash, which literally looks like nothing now, which is crazy to think about on the monthly time frame, we're still going higher and higher, and it's just a question of when things will turn around. In terms of technicals, kind of the same thing as last night. We're definitely higher in the market. I don't see much of a strong support until 454 for the SPY, which I think I've charted on the 4 hour, or if I don't, we can just look at this. So this 454 level on the SPY is one level from this high and this low. If we break 454, then we have 447, which we talked about last night in depth. That level, so I think lined up with the Fibonacci, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so those are like your supports. I already have them charted out. In terms of resistance, we also did this last night. I think your 1272 has been exceeded, and your 1618 is around 471.4. Okay, and then I also charted this last night. You're kind of like at the apex of this rising wedge. But like technically it closed above the supply line I drew. Probably the same exact thing on the NASDAQ. Yeah, this wedge broke to the upside. You don't see that too often. So it's just like, you can see, bearish technicals. We had the bearish harmonics appear. Those got invalidated. We had this kind of wedge pattern appear. That got invalidated. So we're just getting bearish patterns invalidated. I'm sure the 1 hour RSIs are still overbought. Like, it's insane. I don't think enough people are talking about how crazy this rally in itself has already been. I think everybody's just happy that we're rallying, and they just want to ignore the fact that we're up 8% in 3 weeks for the S&P, but it's crazy to me, at least. So really that's all I can do for the NASDAQ and the S&P. In terms of the Russell 2000, all-time highs were achieved today. We were talking about how the Russell looked bullish in these areas. Even if you're a premium member, I shared some calls for the Russell 2000 down in these areas. Unfortunately, this little fake out dropped them quite a bit before they eventually went back up a lot. But yeah, we had the break, a little bit of a fake out, then we broke out again, and the Russell 2000 sent it. If you were watching my streams like 2 weeks ago, even if you're watching my streams, like over here, I was saying I really think small caps and mid caps are going to start rallying again, because they just did not rally like the S&P and the NASDAQ did in like June and August. So, they were just kind of going sideways. Even the ARK was selling off. It hit its lowest level since like June of this year, down in October. So like, I did say this weeks ago that look for speculation money to come into the market, look for small caps to get hot again, look for mid caps to get hot again. And that's exactly what we're seeing for the past few days. Technically the past few weeks, but like, we're just seeing a lot of euphoria in the market. And I want to make sure that like, yes, these are times where gains can be amazing, but you always have to kind of keep yourself as not neutral from like a technical or a fundamental bias, but neutral in terms of your emotions. Okay, no matter how good or bad things are. I kind of brought this up last night. Just make sure you're not getting too caught up with all the hype. You know, trade when you see good opportunities, but don't trade just because everything's super hot. Because one day it's going to turn around, and even if you have 7 good days in a row before that day, you could lose all those gains if you're just doubling up and doubling up and doubling up every day. So just make sure you're taking it day by day. For the Russell 2000 technicals, I think 233.5 is your support. Above that, I mean, it's all-time high. There's no resistance looking left. You could use fibs a little bit different, but in general, I just maybe go like this. I don't know. I'm going to go like this, actually. I'm going to go from this high to this low. 1272 is going to be around 241 on the IWM, and then the 1618 is going to be around 250 on the IWM. So those are your levels. And then finally, the ARC ETF. Third day closing above the 200-day moving average. Bullish engulfing candle today. Next resistance is 126.32. I do think it gets there. It's not a certainty, but that's the next level. Hopefully it can just keep closing above the 200-day moving average. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think a lot of the hard work has been done. I think September really kind of took a lot of questions out of the picture. And now we're just on autopilot again, but like it's a lot more than just autopilot. We're like heading to the moon on full speed if we're just looking at the S&P 500. Like, it's insane, maybe too insane. But I'm never going to complain about the market going up every single day for like 2 weeks in a row. I'm not going to complain about it. I just want to make sure, you know, I'm not getting too ahead of myself, and I don't want to get caught up into all of that. So I'm not bearish. How do you be bearish when the market's doing what it's doing, but at the same time, eventually it will pull, you know, to the extent, or what the extent will be, I don't know. But yeah, that's just how I'm looking at things. You know, you are getting overbought, but there's not really bearish technicals. There's not really bearish momentum at all. So, you know, for me, it's like, I want to wait till we have a couple red days for the market, maybe some bearish candles, start getting some bearish divergence and stuff like that before I get bearish, even if we do start pulling back. Because in this scenario, as long as we're not like flash crashing or like, you know, really falling, pullbacks could be bought. You know, I'm not saying like you could buy them. I'm just saying the overall market could buy into pullbacks very, very easily. So yeah, it's just kind of trying to keep a bunch of different emotions in check at the same time. That's really it. In terms of the VIX, down to 15 today, kind of where it bounced off of at the end of October. So that's interesting. I mean, it's been bouncing off of this zone the whole entire year, so that's a different way to look at things. The dollar sideways today, and the US 10-year bounced up, highest close since October 26th. So yeah, that's the overall market. So we talked about Bitcoin, the market. Now we're going to talk about the ongoing trades first. Then I'm going to cover a few featured tickers, and then while I'm covering those featured tickers, we're also going to go into some day trade recaps, which is going to be a new segment for the stream. So let's get started with the ongoing trades. I'm just going to run down the list. We'll start off with Fisker, then we'll go to CLOV. All right. Well, let me see what's up in the chat first, and also hit the like button. We got 46 people in here. Thank you, but only 22 likes. So hit that like button. We're about to talk about Fisker, CLOV, the rest of the ongoing swings. Then we're going to even talk about Wish and SOFI and AMC and GameStop. And then after I talk about all those different tickers I want to, I'm going to do some day trade recap from today, and hopefully we'll have time for ticker requests. I can't promise though. So it's up in the chat. Mark Douglas has entered the chat. Says Jack. I put together a playlist of other people's videos of Mark Douglas doing lectures. It's on my channel if anybody ever wants to learn more about trading psychology. What else? I don't see too much. All right, let's talk about Fisker. And we're going to talk about CLOV after that. So Fisker today had its highest candle close since August 11th, I think, just like yesterday. And it was up 2% during market hours. They had earnings after hours. In terms of technicals, really no change at all since last night. You could just go back to last night's stream and watch what I said about the levels. I talked about resistances. I talked about supports. The clearest support area I see is currently $15.60 to like $16. So like that range, $15.60 up to $16. That area could be support. If that breaks, then $14.50. And resistances around 20 bucks, 21.58, then 23.67. That simple. Not much of any patterns or divergence. You're slightly overbought on the daily. That's really it. Already hit the first target of the trade since the entry and slash alert. Fisker is currently up 38%. So here you go. And earnings. All right. So I know the chat's kind of like blocking a part of it, but yeah, let's see if there's anything else I could pick out here. I haven't looked at this yet. First off, 1.4 billion in cash. I think through their SPAC, they were around like 900 million. It even says compared to 962 million in June 30th. So they had the green convertible bond offering. I don't even know what that is, honestly, but I guess that raised their cash. And they also, we talked about this yesterday, secured battery supply from CATL Tool. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't recognize that company, but apparently I think Fisker tweeted something like they're one of the, or they are like the largest battery supplier or something like that. I don't know anything about that company, so I need to look into it when I have time. So they raised gross proceeds of just or above 600 million. Fisker Ocean sourcing is largely complete. Serial production sourcing of over 90% of the bill of materials is complete. That is good. Prototype testing and validation has been underway for some time, with the Mule 1 build completed and Mule 2 testing. I don't know what that means, honestly. The prototype body shop at the Fisker Ocean Assembly in Austria is fully operational, and production of prototype bodies for the next phase of testing has begun. So you can see right here. On the ESG side, progressed on plan to be the first EV to have a full cradle-to-cradle life cycle analysis following ISO standards. And just a lot of words I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know what a lot of this stuff means. Anything else? There was a couple other things, but loss from operations totaled about 100 million, including about $1 million of stock-based compensation expense. I do know Henrik and his wife sold some stock. I think they bought a house or something. So nothing too crazy. I mean, again, this is a pre-revenue company. I think they also talked about their marketing strategy somewhere. It's gonna take time to really see how things are going. I think earnings are still important to see what their sheets are looking like and how their progress is going. But from a financial standpoint, the truth will kind of be told once they're actually selling cars. And I think they also talked about their reservations. I don't know if they did, but yeah, earnings today. I don't really think it moved anything too much after hours, which I wouldn't have expected it to. So after hours, Fisker was down a couple percent. Pretty much, it was up 2% during market hours. It fell 2% after hours. So kind of a flat day. All in all, Cheddar Freeze in the chat says reservations are over 18,000. And they haven't even started marketing yet, so keep that in mind. All right, so let me go back to the other overlay. All right. So that's Fisker. All right, we could talk about CLOV next, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. Give me a second here. Jack says, everyone's saying Shibu going to $1 means its market cap will be triple the wealth of the earth. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about Fisker, which was up a few percent today. And yeah, I mean, meme stocks across the board are up today. A lot of small caps. I mean, the IWM closed almost up 2%. So pretty much what's happened this week was we broke out of a supply line of this dragon pattern. We had a 4% day the day we broke out, and we ran up to the exact resistance I've been talking about for over a week, which is 785. We hit that resistance on Monday towards the close. Then yesterday, which was Tuesday, CLOV pulled back. It pretty much pulled from like 785 all the way down to 743. Really rough pullback off of that exact resistance we talked about. But then it bounced up into the close yesterday. Then this morning, I think it gapped down a little bit at the open, and then it went up. Actually, in the morning, had a pretty nice open, got up to 797, then it pulled back a little bit, and then it bounced up towards the end of the day, when I think pretty much after the FOMC stuff. But CLOV did once again close under this same exact level we've been talking about. I've been talking about this as resistance well before we spent the last 3 days using it as resistance. I was talking about this level before we even tapped it. It was your low from July 27th and August 5th. You showed support there in the middle of October, and now you're showing resistance there. That's the resistance. I put out a tweet this morning saying if CLOV can sustain price action above 784, your next level is 812 to 820, which was its previous resistance zone. You could see from these candles and these candles, okay? So if CLOV can break this orange line, this 784 level, I think it goes up to this next level to test it. If it cannot break this, well, recently it has been finding support in this area, which is pretty much around 740. So it's a question of you're in between two important levels, you're testing an important level. If you can break above the 784, I think it goes to test 815-ish. If you cannot break above 784, I think it comes back down to test 740. Either way, shouldn't affect things too much. Whichever one it tests next is what's going to test next. Hopefully, if it does fall down to 740, you can bounce there again. And hopefully, if it does end up getting up to 820, it can break out of that level, which it has not really been able to do since it broke under it in the middle of September. Okay, so that from like, a support resistance standpoint, that's really what I'm looking at on CLOV right now. Apart from that, I don't know if I'd call this a 3 white soldiers on the 4 hour. Kind of this wick messes it up a little bit, but on the daily, let's see. You had a bullish engulfing candle on the daily, so that's good. We'll see if we can get a follow through breakout tomorrow. I don't know. It was a nice morning. Went up to 797. Kind of topped out there. And yeah, I think it's really can CLOV clear this level. I don't know. I just kind of mixed up my words there. So if it can, you got 820, breaks 820. I think it's headed to 930, 940-ish around the 200-day moving average, and test that next. It's really that simple. It's your third day of increasing positive momentum on the MACD for CLOV. Again, we talked about this RSI level, pretty much the mid 30s on the RSI, where it's been bouncing off of literally since May before it ran to all-time highs. It's that pink line. You can see that clearly. And then lower time frames. Even lower, let's go lower. I shared this earlier. And we're going to come back to this later when I do the day trade recap. But yeah, you had a wedge intraday, it bounced off of that, ran up and closed around the VWAP. But that's really it for the most part. I wouldn't call this a cup and handle. I mean, it's very close to one. I would just prefer if these candles were like down over here, because if this is a cup and handle, then you need to break this. That would be your neckline of the cup and handle. Even if you want to use candle bodies, it would be this. But if you ignore these, if you ignore this, you ignore that, then yeah, it looks just like a perfect cup and handle. So if you want to just ignore those candles, then sure. It's up to you if you want to ignore them or not. But yeah, even has some low time frame support around 770, which is where it kind of found support at around noon. So that is CLOV. Let's keep going through the ongoing trades, and then we're actually going to come back to CLOV a little bit later so I can recap a day trade on it when we do our new day trade segment. But yeah, keep hitting that like button. There we go. Max just said it in the chat for me. Hit that like button if you didn't already. Subscribe to the stream if you haven't. We had like a good amount of new subs last night, which was cool. Because it's really been a very low amount of new subs for the past month or so. So if you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the stream, just hit that subscribe button. You can watch the stream more. And what else? Join the Discord. The links in the description. Everything is in the description. Check out all the links there. The course, tips, premium, everything's there. Merch. I'm not wearing merch tonight for once, but it's there. So in terms of the other ongoing trades, BENE, this one, I'm going to say same exact thing. It's just not the same technical setup that it originally was. It was a 15-minute chart. You know, it was really, when I looked at this initially, I shared it as a swing because I was looking at it as like maybe like a 2 to 3 day idea rather than just a day trade, like a very short-term swing. But it just didn't really find the price action where I was hoping for it to. And it's just been going sideways. So this one's down 3%. It's really just a question of do your own research on the fundamentals of the SPAC and the rumored company or alleged company that's merging with. And that's really it. There's really not much to talk about from a technical standpoint. On XL, it was up 1% today. Still just within this range. Not much to update there. It's in this range between 520 and 575. Hopefully it can break above 575 before breaking under 520. According to TradingView, earnings for XL on the 15th of this month. VIPS was up 0.5% today. Not much of a technical change here as well. Again, this is a weekly chart of a 2-year long bullish bat with the MACD crossover. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. All that matters is where it ends up, like I've said for the last week on stream. NEO was up 0.5%. Third day in a row, it gets like 1% away from the first target, and it's really frustrating. And another one that's really frustrating is this, which we're going to come back to this chart during the day trade segment. But AMC, this is not a trade for non-premium. That's probably a weird way to put it. This is a trade for premium members. I'm just sharing it on stream because it already did a lot. I'm not showing you the second and third targets, so you see just the first box. There's still 2 more that are hidden right now, but yeah, this one's a little bit frustrating. I alerted AMC to premium members yesterday at 37.39, and today, the day after I alerted it to premium members, it was up 18% the entry at one point, but look at what happened. My first target was 44.27, okay? And you're looking at this wick, you think, wow, your target hit in literally 1 day on a swing trade for an 18% gain. It was 6 cents off. Like, that just frustrates me so much. I mean, if I really wanted to on stuff like that, you know, if they're like 1% away from target, I could just go mark them as wins on the sheet, but I don't know. I just want to kind of keep it as, you know, fixed and direct as possible in terms of like the weekly sheet. But yeah, AMC got really close for premium members, and then if you're not a premium member, NEO's been on the cusp of that first target for a while now, like 2 weeks, and hopefully can just maybe even get above the 200-day moving average for like half a day and hit the target so I can stop stressing about it. In terms of the technicals for NEO, we've been talking about this $40.62 level on NEO, and that was the low of the day today. So I really like how I use that as support today. But like, look how like technical that is. Okay, your low of the day was the level I've been talking about every night on stream, $40.62, and your high of the day was the 200-day moving average. So, just another perfect example of why TA is so fake on NEO. And then finally, TRIP. We talked about it last night. It's just hopefully it can hold this support zone it's held since August. If it can't, then it gets stopped out. If it does, then hopefully it can get back above 36 and be back in profit. There's not really much of a technical change. So that's the ongoing trades. I already showed you the AMC chart, but we're actually going to be coming back to the AMC chart. We're also going to be looking at the CLOV chart again to talk about some day trades. And then also, I didn't really bring up this one for the swings, but GameStop went insane this morning. We might actually start here, but GameStop went insane this morning. It already hit both targets of the swing. This was alerted last week, I think. 25% profit in like 4 days. Hopefully it just keeps going. I mean, it's insane because like GameStop in a way has really kind of led CLOV and AMC to greatness this year twice in at the end of January, but not really for CLOV at that point. And then June. I don't know if GameStop was the first one. It might have been AMC that actually started off in June. May 12th for GameStop was the bottom. I think AMC actually, no, they started kind of at the same exact time. But for GameStop, it's like, it's weird at this point because like I feel like there's been multiple times this year where GameStop has ran, and a lot of other, not even just meme stocks, but like small cap stocks have just kind of followed it, like speculative stocks, I guess. But it's kind of like a weird, it's obviously not an index, but it's kind of, people have kind of used it as an index for small caps and speculative stocks and meme stocks, which is just interesting to see. So when I'm saying like hopefully it keeps going, I'm just kind of saying that from like a point of like, because maybe other sympathy plays also kind of appear. I'm not saying like, I don't own any GameStop or anything like that. I'm not trying to, do anything weird. I'm just saying from like a market sentiment point. So yeah, but nice stuff. We're going to talk about this in a second. We're going to talk about GameStop, CLOV, AMC, and Wish for a second here. Which you follow me on Twitter, or if you're in the Discord, then you probably saw those tickers today, and I'm gonna explain further. But we're gonna get into the new day trade segment for the stream. Before I do that, let me see what's up in the chat. I don't know if there's much. What else? Just manually mark the trade as complete. That looks like 0.02 cents off. And then YCuz says, that is close enough, bro. That counts for you. Again, I could. It would probably help me sleep at night a little bit better. I don't know. It's just like, I don't want to say a trade hit the target when it didn't hit the target. I could just say it pretty much hit the target, kind of like what I did with Fisker, but then Fisker literally hit the target after hours on the same exact day. But yeah, I guess I could. I don't know. I might just mark it as green on the sheet. We'll see. And then for Neo, same thing. But I don't know. It's just weird. I don't want to like say things hit the targets when they literally didn't hit them, but at the same time, it's like, what else can I do if they're gonna get like 3-4 cents away? Like, but whatever. So yeah, keep hitting that like button. Thank you for the 40 likes. Let's talk about some day trades and stuff. But yeah, so this morning GameStop went insane, and that kind of helped out a lot of other meme stocks in the morning. GameStop, I think, was up over 20% at one point. Kind of topped out around like 255. I don't see really any important levels there, but that's where it topped out today. And it had, kind of a bearish candle to close things off. Basically, that large upper wick just shows you had price rejection in these areas, and you did close under 231 after you broke it intraday. And I'm sure you might have closed a 1 hour candle just above it. But really, it's in the title of the stream. It says my tricky day with meme stocks. So I'm going to recap some day trades. And this is the first night I'm doing like the new day trade segment for the stream. And honestly, it's a very different day than what I've been used to. We've had an amazing day trade streak for a while now. And then today was probably one of my worst of the year. And I'm going to explain it further. But yeah, this morning I woke up. I was very, very green in the morning. I had options on different things. I did take profits on a good amount of tickers. So I closed the day green today. I was green today. But like from a day trade standpoint, like I'm going to get into it. So we're going to start off with GameStop, which is what I was kind of watching in the morning. And I was really, like I just said earlier, I was watching GameStop because I saw that other tickers were moving. I'm not going to say because of GameStop, but with GameStop, right? You see GameStop has a tick up, AMC has a tick up, vice versa. Not perfectly, but you get the point. So I was watching GameStop, and I was watching a bunch of other tickers. And let me actually pull this up. So, all right. So this is pretty much how it went. So I was watching GameStop. I was going through a bunch of different tickers. Let's call it 10 a.m., right? And I took some profits around over here on my CLOV calls that expired this week. And I actually rolled those over into like further out calls. I think somewhere in like this area or something like that. But I took some profits on CLOV towards the high of the day just because it was right under 8 and my calls were up, I think like 150% or something, or one of my calls. And I was looking at other tickers, and the first one I kind of looked at this morning was Wish. Okay. Now on Wish, I was looking at this 1 hour chart. Okay. So again, I'm going to pretty much just recap my day trades. I'm going to start doing this every night on stream. And when I'm saying my day trades, they're not always literally something I took. Sometimes it's just things I share with premium members. Or in other times, it's gonna be something I don't share with premium members and I do personally take. You know, it's all over the place, but just in general, I just want to make that clear ahead of time. I'm just saying like the charts I was looking at for day trades. Okay, give that whatever meaning you want it to. But first thing I was watching was Wish. Now Wish had this nice candle with rising volume at the open. I really do like when stocks, you know, their first 1 hour candle of the day, they have higher than recently average volume. It might not be above like the average volume of the stock historically, but at least over the past, you know, 25, 30 candles prior to that, you're having a larger volume candle. So it started out the day with some nice volume. I also zoomed out and charted this triangle pattern for Wish. And I think it was somewhere around like over here where I was looking at it. And I was looking at this as well. So I was looking at EMAs. And you can see why these blue boxes are here now. Wish was showing a bunch of resistance right over here at all of these EMAs on the 1 hour chart. Same thing happened over here. Even perfectly tapped this green EMA, which is, I think that's a 200 EMA on the 1 hour. So that really doesn't matter much. But it was showing a lot of resistance. And you could see the last time it really broke above these EMAs was over here. And that pretty much took it to the top of this triangle. So this morning I saw they were on volume. Wish was getting above all these EMAs on the 1 hour, and the last time it did that, it went to the top of the triangle. And I was hoping for a similar move like that to happen, maybe not maybe just as a day trade, but maybe tomorrow or the day after, and hopefully again it still happens. But really, it just didn't confirm. So you kind of closed above it, and then you just flushed right after. I think this 11:30 candle is when GameStop might have started dropping. Yeah, look, this is what I was talking about earlier, where a lot of these stocks just move so similarly. You see GameStop has this 8% red candle, and then Wish just kind of follows it. Now the thing today was why I had a tricky day with meme stocks is meme stocks were super hot in the morning. Across the board, AMC was up over 10%, CLOV was up like 4 or 5%, and Wish was up I think 1.5% or something. Like all these things were up in the morning, and then when GameStop kind of had that flush intraday, it just took the others with it. You know, even the IWM pulled back a little bit, but not as much as names like Wish and GME and AMC. Like GME literally was up 20% and only closed up 5%. So a lot of day traders in these meme stocks today must have lost money, or at least they were going long on these meme stocks. And that was kind of what was tricky for me today. I was trading. First off, it was Wish, and again, I'm saying I was trading. I actually did not personally. I was not personally. Actually, no, I was. Wish I was actually personally in today. But a couple others I'm gonna bring up. I wasn't personally, and I was just watching them as day trades. But so Wish didn't work out, and initially it actually bounced up towards the close, and it went back up to around the price I was looking at it. But I started off with Wish, and then I looked at AMC. Now, I was initially looking at AMC right over here. Okay, so let me take these EMAs. Actually, the EMAs are going to be important. So I was watching it pretty much like this. Let me actually take the EMAs off for a second. So I was seeing AMC had a very nice run up on volume. It gapped up and it was pulling back. Volume was dropping, and it found this support at 41.34, which was a low from the 9:45 5-minute candle, and it started finding support there. And not only did it have that, it was also at the time developing 5-minute hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators, and it was sitting at all of these EMAs right over here. And then even just under all these EMAs, you had EMA clouds on the 5-minute chart. So you could see there was a bunch of support lined up. And what happened was, as you know, the trade I was watching kind of developed. Instead of it, I was just looking at like this initially. I just had my supply line drawn like that. I kind of moved it over to here, and you could see it turned into, well, from a bull flag, right? So it had this bull flag, right? It just went sideways. So that's one thing. When you're day trading, you see a pattern just vastly underperform. You have a bull flag, you break out of it, you never end up catching volume, and instead of going up after your bull flag break, you just go sideways. That's one warning sign. Then when you have to literally redraw your supply line because nothing happened after your break of the supply line, that could be another warning sign. And then you could see it turns from a bull flag into a descending triangle, which is technically a bearish pattern. And it breaks down. And this was the easy part because it was very clear that it broke down. I shared with premium members immediately that it broke down, and I was marking it as a failed trade, like literally on this candle. And then after it broke down, you know, again, we're talking about a very small, you know, room that it fell, which is what made the trade fail. But this is why you manage your risk, because after that, it went down intraday another 4% to the low, right? So that failed. So that was what I was doing second. And then I went over to GameStop, which same kind of thing. It showed bullish variables to me. I was looking at hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators. Look at this level. It filled the gap at 208, which was also previous resistance from right here and right here. And it was even when it hit that level and it filled the gap, which was a previous resistance, it put in a bullish pin bar off the level with hidden bullish divergence developing. I think I might have already said that. Also at the 886, retraced pretty much around the PCC of a Bartley, a bad Gartley, as Mitch Ray would say, except that C point was a little bit shallow. I think it should have been a 382. But you can see variables were lining up. It was even in a wedge. It went towards the test of the wedge. Like those are, I'm going to be honest, today only 25% of what I was looking at played out, but I'm showing you charts where I see them roughly playing out like 75% of the time. So that's why today was a really tricky day for me. It's just really the meme stocks were so hot in the morning that I think so many people just took profits, and it invalidated a lot of bullish technicals I normally see playing out, especially on days where things are looking like there's money flowing into them. And then on GameStop, you know, the idea I guess was right because it eventually started going up higher, but the timing was off and it fell first, you know? So that was GameStop. And it was this, like, again, I'm showing you all of these things because a lot of these charts I'm showing you, I see them playing out all the time, but I also want you to understand they're not going to play out all the time, right? So these, I showed you the Wish chart first, then I showed you AMC's chart before this, and I just showed you GME. Like, these are the setups I look for on day trades a lot, and if you're a premium member, you know that we've had a really good time with a lot of different day trades and options in the past few months. But today they just didn't work. You know, things I see working 3/4 of the time only worked 1/4 of the time today. And yes, you see those three didn't work, but the one that did work, the fourth one, surprise, 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 it was CLOV. So again, pretty similar variables to all the other charts. You know, you have that hidden bullish divergence, you're in a wedge, just like the GameStop chart. You could see here, hidden bullish divergence and wedge, just like AMC eventually started doing, hidden bullish divergence and wedge. And CLOV was the one to play out. So had the same variables. You could see the 770 level. This is pretty much where I shared this with premium members. Right over here, got down to this level, broke out of the wedge. And you could see another thing, I think I talked about this recently, but it was relatively low volume for the day, but where it was trying to bottom out, your volume was slightly higher than the candles before it. So a lot of the times I don't look for necessarily only the highest volume of the day to go long. Sometimes what I look for is not necessarily the lowest volume of the day, but volume where it's not like insanely high, where people aren't FOMOing into it. So it's more of like a quiet area on the price. But at the same time, it's not like insanely low where it's just bleeding on low volume. So it had like these volume spikes, which shows that there was a certain amount of demand starting to come in. And the 770 level was support on the 945 candle this morning. It found support there again. Even if we go back in time, it was resistance on the 1st of this month. You could see on these three candles. And then even here, it was your high from October 29th. So high probability level with divergence in a wedge. And also it was at the lower Bollinger Band. We talked about this last night on stream when I was talking about a Bollinger Band strategy on day trades. So then finally, 1 for 4 today, probably my worst options day of the year, if I'm going to be honest. Finally, all these charts that I see playing out 75% of the time, give or take, only one of them played out, so 25%, which is 1 out of 4 today. So yeah, that was kind of the day trading today. It was a tricky day. I think we had a 5 win streak on options. Let me confirm that. Yes, we had 200%, 1000%, 80%, 40%, 20%. Those were the 5 options we had before today. We had a 5 win streak in premium. And then today, again, we're talking about small losses on AMC, Wish, and GameStop where, again, they're options, but at the same time, compared to the 1000% gain on FSR last week, it is what it is. Lower position sizes, you know how it works. And then finally, at least CLOV had nice, I think there was 30% profit on these CLOV calls off this move. So yeah, hopefully me talking nonstop for the last however many minutes about what I was doing today helped. So I want you all to learn from my mistakes today. I wouldn't say I made mistakes today, but maybe, after the Wish trade failed and I saw GameStop was flushing, it probably would have been a little bit better to maybe at least pick further out contracts for what I was looking at. So yeah, today was a little bit tricky for me, but I want to share my mistakes publicly so all of you can kind of see And again, I can't really spot what I did wrong because these are the same things I do every day and they work out so often, and we're just making money like all the time with these same exact setups. So I'm not saying that these setups don't work. These setups work a good amount of the time. But I want you to understand they're not going to work all the time. So you're going to have certain indicators you use for day trades. And you want to trust your indicators because you don't want to feel scared going into trades, but at the same time, you need to understand there's just going to be days where things that you see working all the time, they just don't. And if you are, let's say you have a certain indicator that you use and you say, or you think that every single time that indicator pops up, you just make money every single time, right? So let's say your indicator is something hits the VWAP, the simplest thing ever. And for your past 10 trades, you had something hit the VWAP and every single time you bought it and you made money and you profited, right? If that, I'm not even gonna say luck, but when that probability runs out, you're gonna run into a day where just the things you look for and make money off of every single day just doesn't work if you don't have a risk management strategy in place. Those days are going to crush you, okay? Because those days are going to come around. So, on a day where what I was looking at for trades during the day just did not work, the same things that always work did not work today, I still had a green day today because of risk management, okay? I was able to take profits on other calls I had coming into today in the morning. I was not going too heavy on anything I was trading after I took those profits because I was already pretty green on the day. Now, definitely, if I would just, stop trading when I took my morning profits, it would have been a much greener day, but it was still a green day. Money was still made. So I just want to kind of, start sharing these segments and just recapping how, my day went day trading and stuff like that. So if you enjoyed that segment, pretty much over now, and hopefully, again, this was a weird day because premium members I don't remember the last time if there was any time where, no, I'm pretty sure this was the only time ever where 3 trades failed in one day. And we're talking about, I've been doing premium since March. So, because I know a lot of all these people with these premium groups, like they will only share what's working in their groups publicly so they can get new people. But again, I'm all about just sharing my mistakes too, because all of you can learn so much more from my mistakes than from my wins, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you learned and you enjoyed that segment, and I'm going to keep doing this segment if you did, drop a 1 in the chat. I'm going to talk about losing trades, winning trades, where things went wrong, where things went right, what I look for, how I manage risk, and how I make money day to day in the market, apart from swings. If you enjoyed that segment, which I want to start doing, drop the number 1 in the chat. And I'm going to take a little bit of like a 1-minute break because I just talk like nonstop. I'm trying to breathe right now. Like I was just going off right there. Wow. Bunch of 1s in the chat. I appreciate it, everybody. Because like, again, even if premium's not for you and, maybe you can't afford premium, maybe you're just not interested, I want to still make, a place for everybody to learn regardless of whether you choose to be in premium or not. But what all the things I just went through is also another good example of a lot of things that I talk about in premium chat. In the options updates channel and just the actual chat in premium, I send texts or just Discord messages of stuff like that throughout the day and just updates on charts. So I want to start also doing that on stream. So thank you for all the 1s in the chat. And yeah, I'm going to start doing this more often. We're going to talk about everything. And that's pretty much it for the day trade recap for today. Kind of weird that the first day I do a day trade recap is like the worst day probably of the year in terms of win rate, not by money or percent by any means, but just in terms of like win rate. Kind of weird I'm starting off with this, but I guess it's one of the most educational days, so maybe that could be looked at as a win. So yeah, let's do take requests for a little bit. If you want me to look at a taker for you, drop it in the chat. Nothing I say is financial advice. Don't request an OTC. Don't request anything up over 30% today. Do not request anything that IPO within the last month. And yeah, I'm just looking at all these tick requests in the eyes of a swing trader, not a day trader, which I was just looking at charts in the eyes of a day trader. So now we're moving back over into the swing trading sunglasses. I don't know how to put it. So I'll probably do this for like 10 minutes or so. And I'm just going to like run through as many charts as quickly as possible. So I'm going to be a little bit vague on the take requests tonight because I want to try and get to as many as possible. And yeah, just gonna like breeze through like all of these like really quickly, so pay attention. VISL, VISL. Yeah, keep hitting that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to watch the free course, links in the description. If you want to join the Discord, which is free, the links in the description. If you want to join the premium Discord, that link is also in the description, where I share my weekly watch list, options trades, day trades, swing trades. There's also a bullseye algorithm bot for premium members that we got hooked up. All the explanations on the premium sign up page, which again, links in the description. And let's get started with take requests. So we have FCEL, Square, and Ford. All right, we'll get started with these. PLG first up. Resistance is around 270s. You could see it from over here and over here, and it was even a support in 2017. If it breaks that resistance, there is room all the way up to 357. It was a low from 2017, a low from January of this year, April and March of this year, and even a high from July of this year. So those are your levels. If it can't break above that, your major supports like 190 was kind of support back in the end of 2020. Already broke this supply line and it's been moving up. Even broke another mini supply line from this little consolidation it had. Could be looked at as a bull flag that just broke out of a couple of days ago. Pfizer. I actually sent this in a watch list to premium members not too long ago. I think it was like right over here when I sent it to premium members right before earnings, and they did well on earnings. It bounced off this 43.10 level perfectly. It was the low of the day on earnings. I wonder why it bounced off that level. Oh wait, because it was your high from December 9th of last year. There you go. After breaking out of a downsloping channel with hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So really technical over here. It was just earnings. So I was like a little bit just kind of waiting to see how that went. But next resistance is like 47.50 on Pfizer. And remember, this chart is a monthly cup and handle. Okay, this pattern is older than me. We've talked about this on stream before. This pattern started in 99. Okay, this is a multi-century pattern we are looking at. And technically, this could be a back test of the neckline. I don't know. It actually had a bullish hammer candle on the monthly for September or October, which is crazy. Is this like the pretzels? I don't know, but UTZ, they might be trying to break out here on the daily of this wedge. Like literally, it might have just broken out with the classic bullish divergence on the MACD and RSI on the daily. It says earnings are on the 11th though. In terms of levels, we got some resistance around $16.80. You break that, then we got $18.34, then we got $20.45 and $22.09. PayPal, it's in a zone of prior support from the beginning of this year. I try to put in pretty much close to a hammer candle today or a pin bar candle today. No divergence, not oversold, but pretty close to oversold. It's at a make or break area. VISL kind of had this crazy impulse, probably catalyst towards the apex of this wedge, and then it just came all the way back down. It is finding support around like the 160 area. Hopefully it can hold that. If it can't hold that, then the next major support's like 130 to 112, like this kind of zone over here, like that. And then resistance is $2. Gets above 2, and then it's like 255, which was this high in the 200-day moving average. IVR, this is actually starting to look like a cup and handle. I mean, if we're only talking about after the gap, why is that lagging? Whoa. I'm sorry that like the graphic was lagging, but Koki 928 with the $50 tip. What? Wow. Thanks for your hard work and education. Oh my gosh. Koki, thank you so much for the $50. Can we get some vibes in the chat? That's insane. Let me fix this little tip thing at the bottom. Oh my gosh, just out of nowhere. I don't know if Koki said anything in the chat too, but Koki, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the support, seriously. Wow. Who's dropping vibes in the chat? JG, Nerve, Cheese, Max. All the vibes in the chat. Sheesh. I mean, that just like came out of nowhere. That surprised me. Thank you again, Koki. Tenderfoot, the guy, Eric, all the vibes in the chat. Mike, David. Nate, Michael. There we go. Everybody's still in here. Really appreciate it. I mean, all of you, thank you so much for all the support. It's life-changing. I think Koki just sent a message. Let me wait for it to pop up. Koki says, all good, bro. Some of us don't have the time it takes to do research. Thanks, bro. I'm really glad to hear you're enjoying the education and the stream and everything. And like, again, all of your support just means the world to me. Like, when everybody just dropped ones in the chats earlier, when I like asked if like you enjoyed like the day trade talk, that makes me feel really good, because there's a lot of pressure. There really is a lot of pressure when I'm like talking about stocks publicly. Again, I'm not giving financial advice, but like, you know, reputation is like everything in the world of like stocks. So when I'm talking about, you know, losing and trades not working out, it's like there's a lot of, I can't even speak. There's like vulnerability. I don't know if I messed that word up, but there's a lot of vulnerable. I can't even say that word. But it's really cool to see how much support I have, you know, when things are not going great, also when things are going great. And again, it's been a really, really good few weeks for the market and for the trades. Just one day today, I kind of messed up with trades personally, but like, seriously, thank you for all support. It's like, truly, I genuinely think that this is like the best community for stocks in the world. It's just, everybody's like so productive. There's no toxicity. Like, it's just vibes. It's all vibes. So thank you again very much. IVR kind of looking like a cup and handle. I mean, if we're gonna not ignore the gap, then I guess not really. Would have to kind of like cup all the way up to here. But if we're only talking about the data after the gap, then I kind of look at it like this, and then 332 would kind of be like your breakout point, I guess. I mean, even so, you could kind of look at it like this, right? So that's IVR. And then FCEL, it's in the middle of support and resistance. 791 support, $11 resistance, even resistance at 1060, 200 moving average, just right in between them. I don't know which level it's going to next. Square broke out of a downsloping channel, had a nice little move. Now it's just testing this 251 support. If you're going off of candle bodies, you have potential hidden bearish divergence. If you're going off of candle wicks, then you don't. And that's really it. Hopefully it can hold above 251. If not, then it could head back down to like 242.5, 200 moving average, and a gap fill. And next up is Ford. We had a beautiful swing. Pretty much this was the swing on Ford for all of you who were here, I guess like a month ago. Really good swing on Ford, and it's actually even going higher, and it's above 1662. I know it's an important level. It is 1662. Yeah, so it's breaking out on the weekly time frame. Like, honestly, the next resistance for Ford on the weekly is 2176. And you have a little bit here at 1892 from this high and this high. I don't even know if you can see it. From this high from like 2001, older than I am. That candle is older than me. But a little bit at 1892, cross that, then you got 2176. And in terms of support, 1662, the level you just broke. So that's Ford. What's up, Natalie? We did look at AMC and GameStop earlier. But yeah, they'll be in the timestamps. Yeah, thank you again for that $50 tip. And like, back to what I was saying, like, it's awesome. Like, seriously. Like, whenever I have a good day, like, how good I'm feeling just gets like heightened by the stream. Whenever I'm having like a not so good day, you know, my vibes get raised because of stream. Like, it's just, I just love streaming because all of you are just here and so supportive. It's like the coolest thing ever. It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy. It takes a lot of dedication and work and planning, but it's 100% worth it because of all of you. And yeah. But keep hitting that like button if you didn't already. Hit that subscribe button. I'll just finish whatever's in the chat, maybe. And join the Discord if you haven't already. I'm gonna try and keep it to one ticker per person. Sorry if I miss any. Can I repeat my Fisker project pair question? The Foxconn Fisker car, will that be mass produced? Sorry for kind of being lazy. I don't know. Also, I'm gonna be honest, they shared like a, what's it called? They shared like a very like quick graphic of like the pair project when they initially announced it. Let me see if I could find what it looked like. Yeah, this. Okay. They share like this graphic. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know if they shared the side picture. Is this it? I can't remember. Like this is probably a better way to look at it. I'm gonna be honest here. It's kind of giving me like egg car vibes, like solo vibes, but like still much better than solo. And again, keep in mind this is like a very rough graphic, but I'm just saying like the shape of the car, where it's like the wide front of the car, and the actual like interior is like much narrower. You know, like the kind of egg shit. Like I don't know, but again, this is a very rough graphic. I'm just not a fan of like cars that look like that. It's just a very personal thing. And again, I know I'm not really answering your question at all. Just something I wanted to bring up. And I think this is one. I think this is the one that they want to be under $30,000. So there's like this new wave of EVs. It's like the Solo. There's another one. I keep forgetting it. I've traded the stock before. It's I'm just gonna search up EV stocks and see if I can find it. There's another car that looks pretty similar to Solo. Pretty small company, I think. No. It's this one, RC Moto. If that's how you pronounce it. It's not that similar to Solo, I guess, but it's like this. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like a few of these like EVs that are starting to pop up. There's even more. It's like these like very, like they look like smart cars, but some of them are even smaller, and they have like a really low 0 to 60. And again, I don't even know the specs of this. I don't know if they're trying to like fit this into this new wave of like EVs that I've kind of been seeing around. It's like very affordable, small, not the best specs, low space. I don't really get the it's a Jetsons car. I don't really get I know what the Jetsons are, but I don't really know what it looks like because I didn't watch it. Well, like it's like do you get what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't say it looks like the Jetsons car. That's like kind of no, I wouldn't say like this, but I get what you're trying to get at, but also at the same time, like all I'm trying to say is like, I don't know. Hopefully all that made sense. Oh, Candy as well. That's a good one. So you do get what I'm saying. Like these like smaller EVs. Yeah, exactly. Like perfect example. I'm just not a fan of these. I think a lot of these companies think that there's a market for this. And I might be, completely wrong. Maybe, if they're putting a lot of money and marketing behind these, then maybe there is a market for this. It's just not something not something I'd be interested in personally. But hopefully at least the Fisker pair looks better than the Solo, even if it's like a similar type of vibe. I don't know. See, I already put a bunch of other tickets in my watch list, or a few. Yeah, Lucid, I'd say in terms of my favorite EVs, Fisker Ocean number 1, Tesla Model X number 2, and then Lucid Air number 3. Those are probably my top 3 EVs by looks. I might be forgetting one. I actually like the Hummer EV, looks cool. And I think they have like a Mustang EV. All these, companies are coming out with their EVs now. So Eric says, I love the right size transportation idea of small EVs. Apter is a cool private company building one. I'm not familiar with them. But I think it depends on the person. It's not something I like visually. But they think that there's a market for it, and they have very smart teams with a lot of people. So I can't say that they're wrong and I'm right. We'll see if that market really does expand over the next decade or two. Also, I guess that is greener, those smaller cars, I guess they release less pollution. Well, they're EVs in the first place, so that doesn't really make sense, but they might take up less electricity, obviously. All right, Dogecoin. Just kind of chilling at a 61% retrace. I was trading it over the weekend, took a small loss on it. I think I entered it somewhere like around here, and then I think I sold it like somewhere around like here. That's really like what I did like over the weekend. But it's just trying to hold on to that 618. If that doesn't hold, I think the next support is around 25 cents, and then your resistance is 28 cents on Dogecoin. On SHIB, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I actually thought that it was breaking out right over here, but I guess it didn't really confirm it, and now it kind of looks like it's breaking down. So next support I really see is 0.0000454. I really hate saying all those numbers, but yeah. But it also is trying to find some low time frame support around 0.00005292. Hopefully I didn't add an extra zero. I don't know, but yeah, you never know. Maybe something like this, and also at the same time, it's just running on hype right now, so technicals can be weird on that. Zillow, I don't even know what happened with this. In terms of the chart, it just gapped down. There's no pattern or divergence. It is oversold on the daily. All I can do here is chart levels. It is at a level. Let's see if it did anything after hours, but it went up 4% after hours to 68 bucks. So yeah, this level over here, 65, 68, where it pretty much closed around, is a high from 2018, a high from 2020, and a high from 2020 again. That's where it kind of found support today. In terms of levels, well, your open today was 73.62, which was also around an open from August 14th of last year, and then after that, you got this 84 level. So those are like the levels I see short term. If it breaks under this 65 support, then I see around $54 as the next level, and then $50.88. Oh wow, that's a really interesting level. 50.88. It's a high over here, a low over here, a high over here, a high over here. So that's an interesting level. Space is at 20 bucks. Deep retrace. This might be a bat. Too shallow on the B point. But other than that, pretty close to a bat. Also 3618 extension regardless. But I'd look at it probably something like this. It's in a wedge. And it says that earnings are on the 8th according to TradingView, and these are your levels on space. Okay. I don't know what this is. I don't know if I clicked on the wrong one. Keep hitting the like button. If you're not subscribed to the stream, hit the subscribe button. What was the ticker? PAT. Can you please look at the PAT one? It's tricky. I don't know. Is it Patriot? I really don't know which one, honestly. So I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm sorry. If I miss it, just drop the chart in Discord and ask others for what they see on the chart. And then ACHUSD. It's kind of rounding out. I think 5.8 cents, if I said that correctly, is a big support. And then after that, you have 7.4 cents. And then after that, you have 8.9 cents. In terms of resistance, you have 10.8 cents. And then after that, around 13 cents. And then 15.6 cents, and then your previous all-time high, at least on Coinbase, at 24 cents. That's really all I can do on ACH. The Rivian car is cool. Oh yeah, Rivian and Pulsar, I like both of their vehicles as well. Commando says Zillow took a loss on the automated home buying and flipping and laid off 25% of its workforce. Sheesh. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the stream tonight. Really packed stream tonight. I said a lot, so hopefully you digested it all and you enjoyed it. If you did, just hit that like button. That's probably the easiest way to support the stream. Just click a button and it could help to grow the stream. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't, but at least we're trying. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, that's like literally the most direct way to grow the channel. So hit the subscribe button. Honestly, my goal is to hit 4K by the end. Like 4K would be insane if we could hit that by the end of the year in terms of subs. We're about like 440 away. So I don't know, because subs have not been the best lately in terms of growth, but we'll see if we can get there. Maybe if like Fisker goes insane or CLOV does, it's possible. I don't know, but at any means necessary, if I got to do like a 12-hour marathon stream or something at one point, we're going to get to 4,000 subs by the end of the year with all of your help. So yeah, have a great night. I'll be live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST, and join the Discord. Links in the description. All right, peace out.
My position here at once. I've got to get away. Nor all I understand is it's better to be hurt a little bit now than a lot later on.